Hello, happy Wednesday, happy whatever day you are experiencing in this dimension called 3D or Earth for us. Wow, I have an inspiration of sharing. Curious how many other people might have this kind of experience. So, for as long as I can remember, where I've had dreams that I'm flying, or if I'm in a conscious state of journeying during my channeled sessions, that I feel like I'm moving through time space, flying, in some cases you might call it. I'm almost always vertical. I don't experience myself flying horizontal like Superman or even a bird, but you know, an upright sort of gliding through zones in the astral world, in the physical world, in the cosmic space time. And recently I had an experience of that when I really sort of was watching myself from another, uh, not like a movie film, but somehow I was having the experience, but it was observing myself having this experience where I witnessed the Merkaba, the light, um, kind of moving inward and upward and around me. And um, even then, the spinning of the Merkaba did not move me. I wasn't spinning in it. Part of my mind would have thought, well, I'd be moving with it in a spinning way. But no, I was kind of like the center or the eye of a hurricane, maybe, where everything is moving except for that core of stillness and silence that is in there. So I'm just curious if you want to make a comment about your experiences like this of flying. And I don't know that it's not necessarily better, or it's just my experience. So um, I probably won't get to you until afterwards when I get to look at the comments, if you make them. So right now I just want to say everybody hello, and I'm grateful you're here. I'm not usually able to participate in chatting as I'm preparing for this, and of course during my seeming exit from consciousness of the form. And I feel ready. Let's use the voice, my body having a little, I don't know, congestion. Maybe it's new allergies stirred up from the winds and the dust yesterday, the last day or two with monsoons here in our area. But let's see, that's it. Have a wonderful time. Happy greetings to you. Happy greetings to you all. I am named Margot. And I want to share with you now some expanded ideas that some of you may have thought of or participated in with your being regarding your relationship with the moon, with the sun and stars, with one another. It is important that we rise through foreign to us beliefs or dogmatically held beliefs so that we can experience the wholeness of the bounteous universe, of the great merging of all that is. So in my human life, most recently seen here on this planet, some thought I worshipped the moon. I did not worship the moon. I don't recommend that anyone worship the moon. What I recommend is that you call upon the energies that it reflects, that you call upon that which is part of your own divine feminine creatress, men and women, yes, that you let that merge to you and participate in your day-to-day activities. It does not, as a being of energy, force anyone into its own frequency, unlike sometimes being read by mythologies and pseudosciences. Does it have effect upon the human physical and emotional bodies? Of course, because we are all connected. And its purpose here, one of its great physiological purposes to be in this orbit of Earth, is to move the waters, move the tides, move the energies, and you are water. Mostly in your form, you're water. So you will feel it if you allow yourself. You will be in it in a whole way. It won't make you crazy except you resist. So the moon is not an object for worship, but an object for celebration, as it reflects the evening light for most of us on the planet. Perhaps also it might be thought that we worship the sun. Some might play with the idea of worshiping of any of these reflected lights. But we say, let's all evolve beyond the idea of worshiping anything beyond the presence of your whole self. The sun is a source of fuel, a source of light energies that feed plants and other forms here. It is a magnificent resource. Without it, or some version of what it might represent to be in this physical sphere of life, the planet itself would not exist. Life could not exist here. The energetic particles make up this planet would most likely, in the eventuality, begin to dissolve, disintegrate, crash, and reunite with other parts of itself in so-called space. So we want to be so grateful for the sun and the moon and all the stars, all the planets and asteroids and beings of light that represent the infiniteness of creation. Is it not true that as a child, or even perhaps in your adult life, you would have looked in the night sky to a heaven full of the galaxy stars, the sweeping multitude of energies? Some do not see that very frequently because of, well, people call it light pollution, right? When the modern times have lit up homes, businesses, factories, and highways, and so on. It's not easy to experience the gift of all that being given in that direct way for most people, most of the time. Again, let's play with the energies of the God Goddess within and as it reflects in the sun and the moon, for example. To draw the energies of that sacred feminine at new moon, at full moon, and in any moment, is not to empower you beyond who you are, but to facilitate your remembrance that you carry that within. To praise and delight in the glorious rays of the sun is not because it is something beyond you, except at the distance of measuring time-space, but it is you in form being created to fuel eternal energies. So play with that. Will that make you a pagan? Well, it depends, doesn't it? On what does that word mean? For thousands of years, that meant not Christian. Does it make you, if you love the energies of the existing world around you in nature and beyond into the heavens, does that make you an animal or a tree worshiper? It makes you humanly in awe of your place with all of it being in to serve you and for you to serve all that. Pagan. It's a silly word. Because it doesn't have to be religious, that you honor the energies of life. But isn't it interesting that the less humans connected with the life and nature around the planet, the life in the sun, the moon, and the stars, that they began to shrivel into more isolation from other people, from other possibilities. Some would say it is because the divine feminine has been pushed away and ignored. That's a big part of it. But it's that it's pushed away. All of energies reflecting your whole divinity is pushed away for fear, for anguish, and all that builds upon itself. So perhaps one of the remedies as a gift to your life and to the world is to make it part of your life, your daily life, to connect with the nature around you, the moon, the sun, not just by naming them by the beautiful names and the colors and the energies of the moons. That's fun. Not by just saying, oh, it's solstice, it's equinox, and it's full moon, and whatever. Don't just name it, but connect with it, feel it, be it. And perhaps more important than the greatness of that, in that greatness, where does it live in you? Have you been afraid of your feminine, whether you're a woman or a man, in your body? Have you been angry with male energy, with men, in yourself and in the world? Make peace with the unification, because it cannot live one without another. When you are in the moonlight, however the shape of its reflection with you, from dimness and crescent to fullness, feel it and call it into you. Call to the Lady of the Moon. It's funny that people like to think of it as man in the moon in their made-up mythologies. Why does it have to be a man? Because it's got a face that's distorted by the craters you see. Go beyond that. Call to the energies of the feminine, the waters, that it seems to be barren of, but believe me, it is divinely connected to every water particle in your body and the planet that it serves. Lady, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you, for I am one with you. I will never forsake you, for you are my wholeness in creation expressing. Looking to the sun in the daylight for the brief moment that it feels safe to put your eyes into that, or look upon its shimmering reflections and call upon the energies of the power that it represents to bring forth from the womb, from the waters, a new creation. You cannot have one without the other. Where is that in you? Where is your power of receiving and of giving the energies of creation? There can be union on earth. The male, female, the divine masculine and feminine living within all become balanced, honored, respected, however it is acted out in the form itself. It can be that one sees the energies of creation acting, whether it is the planting of the seed into the womb of the earth, watering, nurturing it, and the sunlight beating into the particles of soil, bringing it all forth to feed you, to bring beauty to you, to be home for many, many beings on this earth from a single seed. Just as you know, you were taught in school about the biology of your physical form. A seed is impregnated with the energy of that male mass essence. So it is. It is the water of life, the sun impregnating that life into form. Could not be one without another. What is it you want to create? Don't just do it with picturing it in your mind or saying it over and over, but create it by the unification of the energies within you, being blessed in that, blessing that to come forth. In all these things, the mythologies of what I'm saying have been in every other culture and religion. The religiousness of it is where the rituals were created to keep the memory alive and activate it within the bodies. The dogma of the rituals, when they were taking hold, that it all had to come from somewhere outside, that it wasn't a reflection of you. Whatever the dogma, even in some so-called pagan or neo-pagan religious circles, the rituals and the prayers and all the accoutrement of that oftentimes will still be needed because it wasn't from within. It had to be there. So wondrous indeed that there are crystals and tools and oils and magic scents and fire. All of those are tools, but not to because you are not enough without that, but because it reminds you and supports you to be all you are. Whether you bless yourself with holy water given in a fountain in a church, or you anoint yourself with sacred oils, or you energetically bathe in the light, all of that is your way of participating and reminding that these tools and these reflections of life are your power, your purpose, and we are here to serve that with you. So dance in the moonlight, dance in the sunlight, be baptized in the waters. All of this is part of the way you commune with the wholeness. Blessed be Hello. Well, I wasn't flying. I don't think I would call it that. But I was having an experience of I think I can call it shape shifting, because I was in and out of experiencing myself in physical form, in this life, in other lives, in animal forms. It was very interesting. I didn't feel in that experience like any difficulty transitioning or shifting in any way. It's sometimes recalling it, anything that I experienced like that, I was like, whoa, then I feel the energy of that moving in me, or sort of vibrating. So thank you all for giving me that play. I can say I will make peace with some of the physical beings on the planet, and right now I'm even going to speak with animal forms that I have still some fear or disgust with. So when they put me in the body of that, then I have to love myself. It's interesting. So that's what I'm going to say. Just one moment. Was something you need?
That was Ascended Master Margot. Let them know we're going to play that.
Oh, Margot. Daryl was just saying, reminding me that we're going to research that, but I think I have a feeling or a clue of it. Can I say? When sometimes right before I move into this session, I will feel a presence. I either identify what it is or who it is or not, but I will get a sense of a color or a break. So I was guided to go find this particular shawl that I have. You can't see how fringy it is and pretty, but it just so when he said that word, this reminded me of an outfit that I might have worn in days that I was initiated as a priestess in a Wiccan circle. So when he said Margot, I'll double check. Let me one moment. Thank you, sister. Margot Adler. People know the name or know who she is. Probably a majority of people would know her as an NPR correspondent for many decades. But she was also an author and a priestess. And so I'll just share that with you. I'm getting chills. Yeah, she's just bowing to me. Thank you. So that's it. Margot Adler, Ascended, Lady Ascended Master Margot. I'm honored and thrilled. It's fun. I get to re-meet or meet energies of souls in this work as they become integrated into that life that we might have known them from, and more on all their other lifetimes as well. So, fascinating to me now. I know I no longer have any of the written material she would have done, but I'm very familiar with one of her powerful books that I read many decades ago called Drawing Down the Moon. So put it on your little list if you want to check it out or know it. Wouldn't recommend the book per se in terms of following any of that but it just as an awareness of that's part of the background that this soul shared on the earthly plane. What fascinated me most about realizing that of her, I think I met her once at some gathering, was that she maintained a very anchored kind of physical life in a very public way, and didn't hide her pagan, as she would have referred to it, gifts and connections. But so it was an interesting a piece for me way back in the day to realize that you can be in those seemingly alternative spiritual um, lifestyles and still dance and play in a very grounded, intellectual, and focused way in the material world. So that's it. So thank you, Daryl, for telling me who that is. No, that's interesting for me, from my own background, that she honored me this way. So until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night. And what is it that the Truman Show you say? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, or anyway, it's all the things. So thank you, and I appreciate all of you.